Hi, welcome back to my channel, Mel Stampin' Gallery. It's the 1st of February and I have a brand new scrapbooking workshop guide to share with you. This month's guide uses products from Sale-A-Bration. It's our January through February promotional event, and I will tell you more about that as we go along. But I am using these Toadstool Gardens 6x6 designer series paper that you can get free with a $60 purchase, and that is part of what the celebration promotion is all about. I'm also going to be using the Terrific Toadstools stamp set and punch right here that you see that were that paper was made to coordinate with that toadstool stamp set and paper. I'm also going to be using another free item from the celebration called Documenting the Day. So we're going to be using that stamp set. And we're going to be using some dies from the main catalog. This one is Nested Essentials dies. And this one is really nice because it has a lot of banners in different shapes. We're also using Spotlight on Nature just in one place, really, to make a journaling circle, and you'll see that in a minute. So if you don't have that, you can use anything else that you want for a journaling circle. And then the alphabet a la mode dies here. All right, so I'm going to clear this all off so we can get into the layout. The first double page layout is one that I created for my ladies who will be attending my crop coming this Saturday. Actually, I should say gentlemen as well, because we do have a couple of male guests that will be attending with us. Now, for this layout, all my attendees will be receiving everything that you see here except for the 12 by 12 white paper. And I will be providing them with the stamps and the inks and the punches that they can do their own stamping and punching. But I'm also providing them with the title that I created, Totally Amazing Day, because I just thought this would be a great layout to use for any kind of a day, maybe a picnic that you had in the springtime, a hiking day, just any random day that you spent maybe with your family. This would be a great layout for that and a great title. And as I said, I created this title on my Cricut. And I do have Cricut access, and I did do this as a cut file, but the one that I am giving them at the crop on Saturday actually was a print and cut. So they'll each be getting the title, and like I said, the stamps and punches to create the embellishment clusters that you see around the page. Now, like I said, this used the Toadstool Gardens 6x6 paper pads, so it's really just 3 pieces of 6x6 pattern paper. There is some fussy cutting with the leaves and some of the mushroom stems, but other than that, it's really pretty simple and comes together quite quickly. And you will see over here, these banner pieces were die cut with the Nested Essentials dies. So let me take that out and let's take a look at that real quick. So this die set, I think, is kind of a must-have for your scrapbooking. It has these really awesome four-sided, 6-sided shapes. Kind of an elongated hexagon, I guess, and some rectangles with some rounded corners, and then it's got the different size banner pieces, and you can see each one cuts out a double stitched line around the edge to give the paper a little bit extra dimension and interest. I don't know if you can see that in the camera up there, but it gives that stitching line around the edges. And then I sponge all the pieces. I do like to sponge. If you don't want to sponge, don't sponge. You don't have to. And yeah, so that's the first layout that they will be receiving at the crop. The next layout, oops, let's put this in order. Again, uses that Nested Essentials die. Well, let's scoot this over so you can see that. And I've just cut out from that 6x6 pattern paper using that, using a shape from the Nested Essentials die. I think I used the second largest shape. Yeah, the second largest shape. And I just cut the various pieces that I liked and I wanted to highlight and just randomly place them around the layout. I've got this linear photo mat going across here with the main photo popped up on the top here. Everything is matted in early espresso cardstock. And then the main photo I have used Pretty in Pink, and I've used an embossing folder to emboss that mat around the largest picture there. And for the title, again, I have used my Cricut and designed a title. You have so mushroom to grow. So I thought, well, that would be perfect for, so anything like, how about a graduation? Because you're going to grow and go on in your life, or even preschool graduation or kindergarten graduation. I've got young granddaughters and we've been going to a lot of those lately. How about even baby photos? How about especially those baby boy photos? You have so much room to grow. Anything like that I think would be perfect for this layout and this title. Now the title, like I said, was created on my Cricut, and it is a print and cut file. When you purchase this, my workshop guide, I also include the link to my Design Space file that will have the titles that I created in that file so that you can print and cut them if you have Cricut access. If you don't have access, then usually you can make a purchase for just a couple of dollars. It's not really very expensive to get the images or the fonts. I think this was a free font though. I don't think it was part of the Cricut Access fonts. I'm not positive on that one. But again, then up here in the top, I've done some stamping directly on my layout. And then down here, I've done some stamping and punching with the punch, and then fussy cut some of those leaves. And let's see, before I bring in the last layout, let me show you kind of some like a trick or a tip, I guess, about how to make a mask and cut out your, or punch out the different mushrooms. Now, as you can see here, the punch has the 3 different punches for the mushroom shape. And let me show you. The punch will punch out the large mushroom head, this medium-sized one, and this small stem. So if you want any of the others kind of die cut or punched, if you will, then you do stamp and fussy cut those out. But I've done that for these layouts, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of time to do that. But the thing about this, to kind of help me not waste paper, and, oh, did you ever see this? Our punches, yes, they're big, but what I like about them is this locking mechanism so that you can push it closed, lock it in place, and then store it on your shelf. And it has on the side here on the end, it tells you exactly what it is so that you can see from your shelf what punch you have. So what I've done, and you, Misty really helps, any kind of stamping platform really helps you with this technique. So what I've done, I just went ahead and punched out a mask, all right, for my punch. You can see I've got the 3 different shapes there. And these were, you can see I've punched or stamped on them. The thing about this punch is that it does not leave any white border around each one of those stamped images. It kind of cuts inside the stamped image. So the normal way that you usually make a mask, we found, doesn't really work very well for that because the stamps were overlapping each other. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've punched out my mask, like I said. I've gone ahead and I've lined up, taken the top one and the bottom stamp, And what I do is, let's see if I can do this for you without getting my head in the way. All right, I'm going to lay it down in the cut image, and I can kind of feel it. It's not moving around anymore, so that's about where it's going to go. And then I'll do the same thing. Let's do the same thing for the little stem here. If I lay that down in the negative part, and then I just bring in my lid to my MISTI, close it, lift it up. All right, so those are in the right place. Now what I did was, to get the middle part, because I can't put the stamp right on there because it will overlap with this big one there, I just take and I slide it up to the top. All right, let's put our magnet there, and then I did the same thing with the middle size stamp. All right, so now what I can do is go ahead and ink these two images up first. And I'm going to use Melon Mambo, and I'm just doing it this way, upside down, and pouncing my ink pad onto the stamp. All right, so let's take our early espresso for the stem, do the same thing, pounce it. All right, and now what I forgot to say was I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock that measures the exact same size as my mask. All right, and I'll put that back down here in the corner where I started. And I didn't ink up this one yet. So then I'm going to close my lid to my MISTI and give it a good push. All right. And then I'm going to take that piece that I just stamped and push that up, slide that up to the top. Now I can ink this one up, and if you want to take your chamois cloth and wipe that off, you can, so you don't get any ghost images on your scratch paper. You can do that, but I don't know where my chamois is right now, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so then now I'm taking the pumpkin pie, and again just pouncing on that stamped image lightly, and I'm going to close the door, and I should get just that middle image. Okay. See how they're so close together right there? That's why a normal mask, putting them on top of each other, won't work. Now, if I've stamped this correctly, I should be able to just slide this in here. And I really should have left it just a little bit bigger so I have something to hold on to. All right, so now I've got, can line that up. It's hard to see. I'm trying not to get in the camera there. Okay, and punch. Now I've got my 3 images without any waste on my paper. Now for the third layout, let's take a look at this one. Now this layout, I've actually gone ahead and I've done the same thing. I've got that same word, the word day, that I stamped and then just cut around from that documenting the day stamp set, like that you see here. And I've got up here, it says, oh, what a spore-tacular day. I just kind of thought that was a funny little pun or play on words. And again, this is one of the items that you might wish to choose for free if you make a $60 purchase during Sale-A-Bration. All right, so for the title then, I've used that Nested Essentials die, and I have die cut that on the Granny Apple green cardstock. I have taken the Early Espresso and I've cut out the letters for the word Sportacular. And like I said, I have stamped then and cut around the letters for the word day down here at the bottom. Now what I did up here was I actually embossed, white embossed. I forget to do this. I have to do this more often because I really like the look of that when I don't want a white base on something and stamp in a color, want it the opposite way. The white embossing really shows up so much nicer than even if you were to use like a white ink pad. And then down here, I've used the Nested Essentials, one of the Nested Essentials circle dies to create a journaling spot. And I've just drawn lines with a pencil, I think about every 1/4 inch. And then I've made my little embellishment cluster here again with the stamped and fussy cut images. And then this one, of course, is punched and cut out. I thought I would show you real quick. Maybe you're not familiar with how to do some embossing. So let's do some embossing real quick. To do embossing, you want to get your embossing powder, and I am using the white powder and a Versamark pad. Stamp your image with your Versamark pad, and then you will pour your embossing powder over that stamped image. The Versamark pad is kind of a sticky ink, and so the powder will stick to whatever you have stamped with it. Now just simply take the coffee filter and very easily pour the powder back into the jar. Then you want to make sure you're holding your cardstock with, you see I'm using tweezers, and then take the embossing gun and heat up the image, and then the white powder will melt. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that over to my little mini die cut machine and die cut out the title for my scrapbook page. And what I wanted to do to kind of finish this off, and I'm probably going to go back on some of my other layouts and do that as well, but I have these Sunny Day iridescent dots that I thought went perfectly with this paper pad. So I'm going to use take your pick tool, and put some of these dots around. The colors I thought went just beautifully. So let's put one there. And let's put one up here. And let's try to keep it in 3s. And how about one right about there? And I wanted to mention the title I cut out with that Alphabet a la Mode die set. And if you don't have this one yet and you are a scrapbooker, I think it is a very good investment because I have used this on quite a few scrapbook titles. And I like this because it gives you like the different vowels, like the A and the E and the S or the T. Gives you more than one of those letters so that you don't have to make so many passes through your die cut machine. And I think I'm going to add a couple more of these dots over here. And I think I'm going to put them right over here because it's kind of empty. Let's put 3 of them together, and let me bring in the other 2 pages for you to have a look at. And don't forget, if you are interested in receiving my workshop guides for free, all you have to do is place a $50 order on my website, and I will be happy to send you the cutting guides and full color directions for absolutely free. Also, if you don't forget, if you have a really long wish list with Stampin' Up, you might want to consider joining my team, Mel's Ink Spots. And when you do, then you will have access to all the guides that I create for absolutely free. If you are a demo or maybe live outside the US and cannot place an order on my website, but you would still like the guide, don't forget you can do that as well for $19.95 US, and I will put the PayPal link down below in the description box if you want to purchase the PDF cutting guide and instructions. So that's all for me for today. For more crafty inspiration, be sure to check the video on screen. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.